Nice. It looks like you're sitting in school, man. All right. All right, legends, welcome to Goal Setting 101. I'm Dave from the R.Y.S.E Movement. So what we're going to be doing today is going through how to set goals and make sure that you can actually see the end point and get yourself to that position where you're actually achieving your goals. So first thing I'm going to ask is, how many of you guys have never achieved a goal? Put your hand up, because I've never achieved a goal. I've set things in place and I've fallen short. I've gotten to the place where it's like, I'm going, and then I self-sabotage or I do something that's going to fuck things up, okay? So every single one of us has set goals and not achieved them. We've also set small goals and achieved them, but there's also things that are going on inside of our minds and our bodies that are stopping us from achieving all the goals that we want. So that's what we're going to talk about today, because I know how frustrating it can get for me when it comes to setting goals and not achieving them. And there's almost a sense of like embarrassment, a bit of shame that comes along with it. So I want to make sure that we're shifting those negative emotions and negative impressions that we get, so that way we can focus on the things that we actually want and drive towards the things that we want. You know, humans are animalistic when it comes to the things that we want. It's avoid pain and seek pleasure. So we need to have both. We need to be able to have the pain of anxiety of the stick that's whipping us, pain, moving us forward, and we also need to have the thing that's motivating us and inspiring us to move forward as well. So we want to have the pain of anxiety behind and the pain of anxiety in front, so that it's hungry. I'm hungry and I'm anticipating the thing that I want. So that's what we're going to go through today, okay? I have been doing this sort of stuff for over 12 years now. I've been helping people in some way, shape or form for about 12 and a half years, 13 years. I can't get enough of this. So if I over deliver, if I talk too fast, if I do any of those sorts of things, slow me down and just go, whoa, Dave, whoa, okay? I have a question about this. I don't understand it. Can you clarify it? Whatever it is. I'm super, super passionate about this stuff. I'm super knowledgeable about this stuff, so I can get ahead of myself because I've got this massive knowledge base. So I apologize if I go too quickly. If I do go too quickly, or if you guys are watching this on the replay, make sure that you pause, rewind, go back a few times. I'm gonna timestamp it in the video so that you can go back and watch it, what we're talking about, okay? So the first thing that you'll see up here on the board is a quote that I love saying, okay? So to make long-lasting change, you must change your internal blueprint. What do you guys actually think an internal blueprint is? What do you think it is, Matt?
Way of life.
Way of life?
Way of learning, way of how you see yourself.
Yep. That one there, that last one, that's perfect. That encapsulates everything that you just said. So your internal blueprint is what you think, what you feel, what your values are, what your belief systems are, any decision that you make, any programming that you've had from your parents or other authority figures from the first 7 years of your life. It's called a paradigm. It's your entire subconscious mind goes into what your blueprint is. That blueprint is much like building a car. You have to have schematics. You have to have the how-to be able to do that thing. Same thing for having a blueprint for a building. An architect has to be able to create that drawing and create the ins and outs of how that thing is going to look. Because otherwise, if you don't have a set blueprint, how are you meant to get to a finished product? And that's what we are. Right now as adults, we're finished products. Majority of us are finished products. And that's a lot of the time, the moment that you stop going to university, you stop doing personal development, you've stopped learning, that's it. That's where you're stopped, and you're not going to grow from there. And then people go through life with the set level of programming that they have from their childhood, from their teenage years, and all these interactions, and then they wonder why nothing changes. Nothing changes because you won't change. Nothing changes because you won't change internally. So any goal that you write on paper and you go, it's a new year, it's my New Year's resolution, I'm gonna lose 10 kilos this year, I'm gonna do it. I'm joining the gym, I'm gonna join up to Jets Warongari, I'm going to do all the things, I'm gonna eat healthy, I'm going to be strong, I'm gonna sleep well, stop worrying about stress. And what happens is majority of people come to the gym for 3 weeks and then they stop coming.
Set the expectation.
That's it. The reason why they set that expectation is because they've got this fantasy that they're trying to project. They're living at this level here. They've got this wild fantasy that they want, lose 10 kilos and it's gonna be easy. I've lost 15 kilos in the last year. It wasn't easy. It was not easy, okay? So in my mind, I programmed to be able to make it that this is my goal and this is who I am. It's not so much what you do, it's more who you become. It's all about the energy and the internal blueprint that we have, okay? So like New Year's resolution is, they join the gym, it's early January, they come in for a few weeks, then work goes back. Okay, oh cool, I'll go to the gym on the weekend. They go to the gym on the weekend after a big week of work because they need to get their routine back, don't they? Then what happens? School goes back 2 weeks later. They take the kids to school, they're out of routine again because they've got to get back into the school routine. They're going to work, they're going to school, they've got the extracurriculars with the kids, going to soccer practice, going to footy, going to karate, going to all these different things. Their life becomes busy. Their gym membership just keeps ticking over. $18 a week, $18 a week, $18 a week, every single week. And before long, they cancel their membership or they forget about their gym membership altogether. So this is what we're going to stop today, is we're going to make sure that you guys understand the reasons why we do what we do, so that any goal that you set, you can make sure that you can actually progress towards. I'm going to put in a little caveat there. When it comes to the goals that you set, they need to scare the shit out of you, okay? I want you, I mean this. I want your goals to put a sense of fear inside of you that also on the flip side inspires you. So moving towards your goal, part of you should be polarized into inspiration and projecting that fantasy so that you're excited to move towards the thing that you want. But at the same time, you should have a part of you that is afraid.
Oh, so it is normal to
Absolutely.
feel that.
Absolutely. So what I've got planned for the R.Y.S.E Movement, I know where this is going. I can see it in the future. It's only a couple of years away of us growing to scale, but I know this thing's going to be worldwide. I'm going to be flying to the States. I'm going to be flying to England, going to all these different countries, running seminars, doing podcasts, like doing interviews, all these different things to be able to spread what the R.Y.S.E Movement stands. Okay, so raise your standards everywhere. I know where this is going because I can see it in my mind of what it looks like in the future, but the big key is I can feel that inside of me right now. So I have this fantasy of the future that I'm projecting, but I'm also afraid of it. I'm afraid of it not working. I'm afraid of becoming successful. I'm afraid, like all these different fears are coming up inside of me. And if I didn't acknowledge that, I wouldn't be authentically me. That goal wouldn't be set in stone, because when you have a goal in the future that's huge, it should terrify you, but it should terrify you in the right reasons. It should terrify you to achieve it because your life's going to be different. It should also be fear-inducing, because what if you don't achieve it? I'm going to feel afraid. I'm going to feel shame. I'm going to feel guilt. I'm going to feel a bit embarrassed because I told everyone about it. Yeah. So all of these emotions are normal. And that's what talking about here when it comes to changing your thoughts and changing your negative emotions about. When you have a goal, we need to be able to work on this. Because if you have negative thoughts that are stopping you and it's literally halting you from moving forward, it's going to start making you move back, or it's going to make you self-sabotage. Okay. One of my favorite quotes from a guy called Dr. Joe Dispenza. He talks about this thing. He has this quote: nothing changes until you change your energy. Everything that you want in the outside world or even your internal environment comes from energy. It comes from resonance. If you're not at a vibrational, energetic resonance, it's not going to be a match. It's going to be a mismatch, and it's going to be like two poles of the same magnet, the two positives, rejecting each other. Because you're trying to attract this positive thing, and this positive thing's coming towards you, but because you're not in energetic resonance and you're not in magnetic resonance, it's not going to flip, it's not going to be melded together. So you have to change internally for you to be able to achieve whatever you want to achieve, okay? The first step that we have to do is we have to set a SMART objective. Have you guys heard of a SMART objective before? Okay, so a SMART objective, this is what I got taught back when I was a McDonald's store manager. Well, it was before that actually, it was when I became a manager. You have to be able to write action plans, because if you have something go wrong, you have to be able to address it, figure out what's going on. So hypothetically, in a goal like this, I put on all this weight after I injured my back in 2017. I got up to like 133 kilos. I was a personal trainer still, and I would look like a personal trainer that needed a personal trainer. And so what happened was I had all this pain inside of me that I needed to transform, because this pain, this thing that went wrong, I had to transform it and create an action plan to be able to make sure I could move to the thing that I wanted. In business, back when I was at McDonald's, if something happened where I didn't hit my KPIs, my key performance indicators at work, I needed to change some parameters inside of that system so that I could create an action plan so I could get the goals that I wanted to do for my KPIs, okay? Same thing happens with us, same thing happens with our goals. So setting a SMART objective is an action plan that you're going to put into place. It's something that you're going to create action to move towards. That's it. Yeah, yeah. But it's more than just writing down. Any idiot can write down a goal. You have to be able to act on the plan, because a plan's just something on paper. It's nonsense, it's nothing. Until you put that plan into action, nothing changes. So it's all about changing that energy inside of yourself, resonating with that thing that you're trying to create, and then putting in stupid amounts of action towards the thing that you want, okay? We're moving away from the pain of the past of being skinny, being unhealthy, being fat, whatever your like pain points are, and we're shifting that focus instead of going, oh, I want to move away from being fat, I want to move away from being fat. What you're focusing on is fat. I'm going to get back to being fat. What we need to do is shift your focus so that we can move towards the thing that you want. For myself this year, my goals are to be I want to be able to win 4 blue belt competitions in jiu-jitsu. I want to be able to do that in the heavyweight category, which means I need to weigh 100.5 kilos in my gi.
So that's a specific goal.
That's my specific goal. So the way that I'm going to measure my specific goal is how I'm going to train, how I'm going to eat, how I'm going to recover, how I'm going to sleep, how I'm going to manage my stress, how I'm going to fix my techniques, how I'm going to do all of these things. They're the measurement pieces.
You had a good analogy from when you told me to set my goals. I've got to have a pinpoint on the mark that I want, like an archery.
Yep. Yep. So let's get into.
You can't aim around it, you've got to aim right to the.
Exactly right. So specific. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, time-bound. That's a SMART objective. Specific. If you don't know what you're aiming at, how the hell are you meant to know when you're going to hit it? You don't, do you? So, what you were talking about there with your archery analogy, if I have a target over there, and I've got my bow and arrow, and I've got an arrow that flies at about 290 feet per second, with my compound bow, it's about an 80-pound bow, and I pull through, I take aim, but I take a half-assed aim. I got my target down there, but there's also children, animals, houses, people, like livestock, God knows what's at the other side of that. What happens if I take my eye off the aim and I look at you and I take the shot? That arrow is going somewhere and it's going somewhere fast. We're going somewhere and we're going somewhere fast, okay? If you're aiming and all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, I just ran into my biggest fan. You didn't aim at that. How do you know it's going to work? How do you know if you're not aiming at something specific? You don't. So what we're going to do is we're going to write down what our specifics are, okay? You need to write down specifically what you want to achieve this year, okay? So let's do that now. Grab your pen and your pads and all the rest of it. I want you to write down exactly what you want.
For me, well, I've got 2 goals, but one other goal I want to talk to you about is specifically the body. And I've got a rough image, like a person that I know online. But should I just sort of have that as the goal, or?
Be more specific.
Yeah, so.
If you don't know what you're aiming at and it's still airy for airy in your head, you don't know what you want.
All I know is I want bigger arms and be more cut.
Cool. That's your specifics. So I want bigger arms. How much specifically? What are your arms right now? What are the measurements? Are they 15 inches, 16 inches?
I guess I have to take some measurements.
There we go. And that's where the measurement part comes into it. Because if you know what you want specifically, but you don't know what your measurements are currently, that's your starting point. You have to know where you currently are to be able to aim towards it. So for myself, like if I was to grow my arms an inch, I know my arms right now are 17.5 inches without a pump. On a pump, they go up to about 18.5, 18.75. So if I want my arms to be 19.5 inches when they're pumped, I know that I need to increase my arms by an inch pumped and also 2 inches not pumped. So that's a lot of work and a lot of reps inside of the gym, a lot of food, a lot of sleep, and so on and so forth, and they're all the measurement points. So write down that for your specifics. I want to increase my arms by X amount of centimeters, inches, whatever it is. I want to lose body fat. How much body fat do you want to lose specifically? And then you write things like, I want to be 12% body fat. Just so that you got specific things that you're aiming at, but there are also measurement pieces as well. What about you, Wayne? What do you got going on?
To be honest with myself, I've been probably happy with myself, like my feelings and my soul.
Awesome. So how do you aim at happiness? What does happiness mean to you?
I don't know.
That's what we need to figure out. That's what your specifics are. So to be able to figure out what your specifics are, if any of you guys have anything that's emotional on there, emotions are great because they're the intangible things that we know inside. It's like something that's inside of us and we go, oh, like I'll be happy when this thing happens. You're not going to be happy, you're not going to be joyful, in love or successful or anything like that until you can feel it internally.
Actually, interesting, that's just opened up a can of worms to me. So all these goals I've got here, just to actually feel what you just said.
To be happy.
Yeah, to be happy and rid of the anxiety in this veil, like a wall of smoke. Like, I mean, I can't. It's hard to see with. I'm unclear on how happiness is and stuff like that.
Yep.
I feel like I'm here, but I'm not here.
Yeah.
When I look in the mirror, it's like, what have I achieved? What have I done?
So,
I'm quite happy with what's happening.
so let me ask you guys this. Do you find that you're the opposite right now? So if you're aiming at happiness and you want to be happy, do you feel like you're unhappy right now?
Not really. Not unhappy. Sort of like what medium.
Some parts of what I see here I'm not. But other stuff that I'm achieving in the gym.
I've stopped being. Suicidal thoughts have gone. I know that.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, they're a lot more around now.
Awesome. Awesome, man. That's cool. That's powerful. Thank you. And awesome for you being able to be vulnerable, to be able to share that. That's cool. So when it comes to, if you're aiming at happiness, if you're aiming at an emotion, it's arbitrary. Anything can make you happy. The thing that you need to understand is you are the one who feels happiness now. So it's not just happiness that you're aiming at. It's fulfillment, it's success, it's being content, it's being comfortable in your own skin, it's being confident in your own skin. So they're all the intangibles that go into the measurement piece. So it's not specific enough for you to aim at. The thing that you're creating with your body, with your finances, with your relationships, they're the tangibles that are in your specifics that matter. They're the things that you're aiming at. I know that I want to be married this year. So I've already told my partner, I'm going to be the one that has to plan my fucking wedding. So on the 24th, I think it's the 24th, either the 24th or the 28th of August this year, it works out to be a number 8. All the numbers add up to 8. 8 in Chinese astrology, numerology, means success, abundance, and like fulfillment and all these sorts of things. So like, because I'm a numbers guy, I love data, I love analytics, I want to make it mean something like energetically, numerically. So, and this year, it's Year of the Dragon, it's a year of success, abundance, all these sorts of things. So it's like all these conflating factors that make me go, cool, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, this is the presuppositions that are underneath it, these are the specifics inside of it that I'm aiming at. And my partner, Rach, she's just like, okay, let's go. Yeah, so get more specific with what you want. All the emotions that are inside of the stuff, they go into the measurement piece. So if you haven't started writing down the way that you're going to measure it, that's what we're going to do now. So let's go into what are you going to feel? What are the feelings of being able to achieve your specifics? Happy, successful, confident. They're the things that you write down.
What's the outcome of achieving these goals, you're saying?
So what would you feel? This is called an intangible measurement.
Free, a bit more free.
Yep, bit of freedom.
I don't have.
So for myself, I just wrote down my specific is to win 4 jiu-jitsu comps at heavyweight, which is under 100.5, and I also want to be under 10% body fat this year as well. So that's my specific. My measurement piece for the intangibles, for the emotions, is I want to be. I'm going to feel confident. I'm going to feel successful. I'm going to feel ecstatic. I'm like, fuck yeah, you know, like I'm excited about it, and also I'm grateful. I know that I'm going to be grateful. I'm going to be like, fuck yes, like, oh my God, it happened. Like, yes, you know, like I'm so glad that it happened sort of thing. And that, like, goosebumps talking about it. The emotions that you feel, the intangibles, that's the key that you have to teach your body what it feels like now to have already achieved it. Because like our blueprint, we don't know. We only know what we are right now. What we have in the future is an unknown, but our mind doesn't understand time. So if I close my eyes and I think about something in the past, I think about a happy memory of my daughter's birthday's on Tuesday. She turns 10. I can take myself back now mentally to the point where I heard her first cry, and I'm living those emotions right now. All the joy, the gratitude, like all the paradigm shattering things that I experienced when I heard her first cry when she was born, that's what I can experience right now. However, if I project into the future and I think about the day that she gets married, I'm walking her down the aisle, I've got her arm in arm, I'm crying my eyes out. I can feel that now as well. My body doesn't understand the difference between time. I taught my body what that thing in the future is going to feel like. I taught my body what that felt like in the past. So your goals, you have to tell your body what that's going to feel like when you've achieved it. That's why it's so important to write down these intangible measurement pieces. Now, for whatever your goals are, let's go through the tangibles. What are the physical things in the real world that you're going to be able to measure? So I'll give you guys a hint whenever it comes to training and gym and body composition transformations. Scale weight, easy one. Scale weight is how much gravity is pulling you to earth. It's an easy measurement piece. What about how much weight you lift in the gym? That's going to get increased if you're going to put on muscle. What about losing body fat? You're going to get fitter and faster, so your time are going to increase on your conditioning exercises. So they're all the measurement pieces. Write all the measurements that you're going to put in. So how do you know that you're being successful? So while you guys are doing that, just listen to my voice in the background. So keep writing your tangible measurement pieces. If you're aiming at a target with this bow and arrow analogy again, and I take aim and I pull the trigger and it hits the target, but it doesn't hit a 10, it doesn't hit the center red pin, the bullseye, my measurement's off, isn't it? So I know how to correct it. What's the things that I need to do? So shooting a bow, how's my front arm? Is my front shoulder strong or is it collapsed? Is my back shoulder strong or am I using my muscles too much through my arm? Am I punching the trigger too hard and dropping my arm? Am I shanking the arm forward so it's going low and left? Am I gripping the riser too much? Like all of these are the measurement pieces to know that my shot fucked up. So because my end piece isn't what I wanted it to do, I know all the measurements I need to do to be able to correct it so that I'm aiming on target true. What have you guys got so far for your measurements?
I've got to figure out the measurements, so I'm just writing what weights do I want to lift and how much body fat do I want to have in order to get those measurements first, and then I can make it an estimate, a specific goal reach.
Yep. So make sure any goal, any lifts that you want to do inside of the gym, so increase my deadlift by 20 kilos or whatever it is for the year, that goes in the specific, and then how you measure it is by deadlifting, getting stronger at my deadlift, by doing all my accessory exercises for my deadlift. Yeah?
Yes.
Progressively overloading, making sure I'm eating in a calorie surplus so that I can build muscle, build strength, so that I'm sleeping 8 hours a night so I can recover, so that I can train harder, so that I can lift heavier. So they're the measurement pieces. The specific is the goal of increased deadlift by 20 kilos, okay? All right, so next one, attainable. Attainable is, it's an interesting one. You all have unlimited potential, but what happens in here and in here determines whether you think it's actually attainable or not. So I know for myself and my genetics, I could happily do a 300 kilo deadlift, easily. Could I do a 400 kilo deadlift? Maybe. 500 kilo, could I meet Eddie Hall's record? Probably not. To be honest, I don't even think it's attainable for me to do a 400 kilo deadlift. It's just not in the cards. I don't care about that shit anymore, so I don't think it's attainable. So, are your goals attainable? And if they are, just give it a big tick. If you believe it's attainable and you have unlimited potential to be able to have and experience anything that you want, give it a big tick. Absolutely, I can do it. Moving on to...
I believe if I achieve these small set of goals that I want, then I'm surely there'll be some higher goals. It'll become more clear to have any other goals that I want.
Yep. And that's the thing with setting goals. Once you believe it's attainable and you start moving towards it and you achieve it, you're going to go, fuck, I achieved this. What can't I do? I'm going to move on to something bigger, something better. And that's the idea of goal setting. Because if you're just moseying about, you go to the gym and...
waiting for it to come to you?
No, you do 3 lots of bugger all. I see so many people come into the gym and do nothing. They sit on a machine and do you know, like half of their potential, and they do shitty little reps, and then they sit down, jump on their phone, scroll social media for a while, look around, have a 10-minute rest period, do another 6 reps of mediocrity, and then they sit down and jump on their phone again, and like they do all the things that aren't allowing them to get progress. They just do mediocrity. If you're stepping inside to the gym and you think, oh, I'm just gonna do, you know, some little 3-kilo curls to grow my biceps and that's all I'm gonna do, or you don't have a plan and you don't know how to execute on the plan, you're not gonna get results. You need to know the reasons why you're doing what you're doing and have intention for it, and make sure that you're not just coming in here because you feel like you gotta go to the gym because it's the social thing to do. You gotta have the reasons to do it, which comes on to the next one, relevant. This one here is so damn important. So many of us, how many of you guys have said should? Should. Oh, I should go to the gym. I should eat healthier. I should sleep better. I should stop drinking so much piss.
I basically hear it everywhere I go.
Should, this is gonna get a bit technical, but when the moment you say should, it's someone else's injected values coming out of your mouth.
Yes.
I should go to the gym. I should go to the gym. If you're not going, I'm going to the gym, or I must go to the gym, or I'm getting to go to the gym today, that's not your value. If you go, oh, I should go to the gym, I've got this free time, that's someone else's words coming out of your face. So think about who's actually saying that through you. Because if it's not in resonance with you, like I said, up here, energetically, it's not gonna be yours. I've had so many people tell me what their goals are in a PT consult, and I go, cool, is this your goal? Is this relevant to you? And they go, oh, no, my doctor told me I need to lose 20 kilos. My doctor told me that I'm pre-diabetic. My wife said that I'm getting fat. My husband won't touch me anymore. He doesn't find me attractive. So is it actually your goal, or is it theirs that they're projecting onto you? What's the relevant reason that you actually want this? Because if it's not relevant to you, it doesn't matter. It's not an effective goal that you care about. So again, is this relevant to you? Is your goal that you're writing down relevant to you? If it is, big tick. If it's not, figure out why. Now, the last one, time bound. If you don't have a time frame on it, you don't know the parameters that you have to be able to aim towards it, how long it's gonna take, how much effort you need to put into, how much sleep you need, all these different variables. So you need to put a time frame on it. If you don't have time on it, it doesn't matter. It's something that's arbitrary in the future. I'm going to achieve it sometime. Set a time on it. So is this gonna be a year's goal? Is it gonna be 31st of December 2024? Or is this a 6-monthly goal? Is this a 2-monthly goal? You need to break it down so that you know how long it's going to take you to do this.
Yeah, they're all separate, all the goals, they all have their own sort of...
Yeah, so if they've all got their own thing, put the longest time frame on the biggest goal that you have, and then reverse engineer it back. You have to set smaller goals for the smaller ones. So whatever you're trying to achieve this year, the
mini goals inside the big goal.
The mini goals inside the big goal. Because how do you achieve a giant goal? So if you need to lose 30 kilos of body fat, are you gonna do it in 2 months? No. Are you gonna do it in 12 months? Maybe. Are you gonna do it in 18 months? Absolutely. If you can do it in 18 months, then you know all the little measurement pieces to come back to do right now. It's like if I need to lose 30 kilos in 18 months time, I need to eat in X amount of calorie deficit, I need to do so many steps, I need to train, I need to sleep, I need to eat, I need to do all these things that compound up to that 30 kilos. Make sense? Yeah. And then the final piece of the puzzle. I've got a QR code for you guys to be able to download a PDF to be able to do this at home so that you're not just like forgetting it straight away.
No, I need that.
So when it comes to this, once you've got your specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely, you need to put it into a paragraph that you can read over and over and over so you can see it internally, hold all the emotions, all the intrinsic, immaterial goals, immaterial measurement pieces, so you can feel what that feels like. So when I do my jiu-jitsu, I'm gonna write it all down, and you write it in the present tense. It is now the 31st of December 2024, and I have completed and won 4 jiu-jitsu tournaments at under 100.5 kilos in the gi, which means that I'm in the heavyweights. I've got 4 gold medals. I know I have achieved this because I can see the gold medals around my neck. I can feel what that feels like. I can feel the success. I can feel how confident it makes me feel. I understand the gratitude and my excitement, and I'm ecstatic, and oh, like I can't wait. I've got all this anticipation because like if I've won four jiu-jitsu tournaments at blue belt, that means that I'm pretty close to my purple belt, which means that I'm going to get recognized by my professor. And it's all of this story that goes into it. Exactly. Exactly. You have to condition your body to understand what that new mind, what that new paradigm is going to be like in the future. And that's how you do goals.
Yeah, you've opened up actually an interesting block for me to talk to you about, I reckon, after.
Come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's,
Anything that's come up from today, make sure that if you're not confident on it or you've got questions or anything like that, send me a text, send me a DM, send me something. So go, hey Dave, this doesn't make sense, or can you explain this a little bit or something like that. Cool. Appreciate you for stopping by and watching another video. Thank you in advance for liking and subscribing. It really helps us out. Make sure you check back regularly for more videos and content to be able to help you raise your standards everywhere. Much love. Take care.